I think I am live now. So guys, कैसे हैं आप सब? I hope you all are having fun. Sanjay again is the number one man in my class. Welcome Sanjay, welcome. A very good evening. A very good evening. कहाँ हो यार? जल्दी आ जाओ, सब आ जाओ फटाफट फटाफट. जल्दी करो भाई, जल्दी करो. मजा लेंगे, मजा मजा. गुड इवनिंग अरुणोपाल. गुड इवनिंग, गुड इवनिंग. और आ जाओ, और आ जाओ. जल्दी करो यार, जल्दी करो. टाइम मत खराब करो, टाइम मत खराब करो. एग्जाम पास आ गया भाई. दिवाली विवाली सब खत्म. गुड इवनिंग आयुष, गुड इवनिंग. गुड इवनिंग राजन. गुड इवनिंग, गुड इवनिंग. मजा आ रहा है ठंड के मौसम में तैयारी करके. The winters have come to full fledged now. ठंडी जोरदार पड़ रही भाई. चलिए, I think we should start now. That's enough of chit chat. That's enough of chit chat. Let's start now. प्रणाम हसित, प्रणाम. चलो भाई. तो दोस्तों, for those who are new to this module, new to this class, myself Manish Mishra, I welcome you all on this Unacademy GATE Mechanical YouTube channel. Okay. Okay, so guys, my name is Manish Mishra. I secured an All India rank of 568 in GATE 2015. I don't know whether people remember this particular year or not. This was a very special year in GATE history. Okay, why a special year? Friends, this was the first time when GATE happened online. This was the first year when suddenly during the month of November or odd, GATE announced that they will not allow students to use calculator, scientific calculators during the exam premises. But after a month or so, they again re-announced that yes, scientific calculator will be available. So it was a very, what you can say, unprepared year. Okay. So that was the first time when I attempted GATE. I graduated in 2014 and I took a year drop and I decided that I'll write GATE exam. I had 6 to 7 months to prepare. I started my preparation somewhere around in the month of July and I made sure that I cover each and every part of the syllabus. I was very thorough with it, very thorough with it. Okay, I mean, in those 6-7 months, I gave everything that I had. Everything that I had. And when I wrote the examination, I was pretty sure that I would score somewhere around 70 to 75 marks. I was damn sure that I would have scored 70 to 75 marks. ठीक है ना? And based on that calculation, because I checked my paper, I even took the printouts of those online solutions that used to came in those times. और वो online solutions के help से और उस online solution के help से I checked my answers, क्योंकि गेट का जो अटेम्प्ट शीट होता है वो तो आ जाता है. So I checked the answers and I got 72 point something marks. I knew that normalization was a part then, but I was not aware up to that point because that was the first time. Remember when GATE was online, nobody knew. People was mesmerized when they saw it. GATE का exam 3 set में होने वाला है. Okay, so all those things happened that year. We didn't even knew that it was going to be online. And when the exam happened online, we all were very shocked कि यार कैसे करेंगे, क्या करेंगे, कैसा होगा, कैसा करना है, ठीक है? So I remember that I secured 72 marks, and after normalization I got 69 odd marks. And I remember that when I checked the paper and I got 72 marks, I jumped out of joy that yes, I am going to have a rank under 300 or 200. But guys, in 2015, I don't know whether you guys remember or not, it was 2015 when somebody scored 98.33 marks in GATE. He actually scored 100, but after normalization he got 98.33 marks, and it was the highest marks ever secured by a student in any GATE exam, irrespective of whatever branch. So somehow everyone performed well in that examination. Although I secured 69 marks, but my GATE rank was 568 in 2015. Karthikeyan is asking, sir, what are the topics you preferred first? Karthikeyan, there was nothing like that which I preferred or not. Okay, I was very clear in my mind that I had to crack the exam. I had no other choice, literally no other choice at that time. I was going through a bit of a rough patch in my life. When I was in the final year of BTech, then my father expired suddenly due to a heart attack. And at that moment of time, I knew that only my education could help me. And there was only one way for me to make a mark, and that was this examination. I made sure that I give everything during the preparation of GATE, and I did that. I had only one thing in my mind, that I had to prepare the entire syllabus. I never cheated myself. I made sure that I have very strong concepts of every topic, every subject, whatever is there. And you see guys, the preparation of GATE examination is not that tough. You just have to source out some proper study material. You just have to meet some proper teachers, mentors, and yes, then that is the case. You can do that. Okay. तो चलिए, लेट्स नॉट वेस्ट एनी मोर टाइम. मेरी स्टोरी तो फिर कभी भी आप सुन लेंगे, डिस्कस करेंगे, ठीक है? बहुत लंबा मॉड्यूल है, आगे भी मैं आपको काफी सारे लेक्चर्स पढ़ाऊंगा. उम्मीद करता हूं कि काफी सारे सब्जेक्ट्स पढ़ा पाऊं. सो let us then move ahead. So guys, in yesterday's class, if you guys remember, in yesterday's class we were discussing general terms in inventory control, and in general terms in inventory control we have already discussed what is demand, we have discussed what is lot size, what is order cycle, and what is lead time. Okay, these are the things that we have already discussed. So now guys, let's move on then. Then what is replenishment rate? Now let us understand what is replenishment rate. Remember, the word replenish means refill. The word replenish means refill. Just try to understand replenishment rate in some perspective. Okay. You see, I told you guys yesterday specifically, मैंने कल आपको खास बताया था ये बात कि कोई भी प्रोडक्ट है, let's say somebody is selling Maggi, then in case of Maggi, there is a manufacturer, Nestle company, who is producing Maggi, who is manufacturing Maggi. Then there are distributor, wholesalers, retailers, small scale vendors, and then there is you, the consumer. Okay. So now if I consider the case of a shopkeeper, guys, the shopkeeper, if you know or if you will try to understand his business policy, it is very basic. What he basically does, he orders the product from the distributors or through someone who is manufacturing some product. Let's say I have a general store, whatever product I have, I do not manufacture a single product out of that. Each and every product that I keep in the shop is ordered. Okay, I have procured that product through someone. I have Maggie in my shop. That Maggie has come from a factory which is run and owned by Nestle company. So basically a shopkeeper is someone जो मंगा कर बेचता है, who procures and then sells. But the difference, the basic difference between a shopkeeper and the manufacturer is the manufacturers produces the product. वो बनाता है और बनाने के बाद सेल करता है. The manufacturer produces, keeps it and then sells it through a certain system or through a certain network of sales. So guys, when I talk about a shopkeeper, let's consider yesterday's example or yesterday's graph. You see, whenever I place an order, I order 90 units because remember I told you yesterday that the average consumption of Maggi is going to be 3 packets per day. The average consumption is 3 packets per day. So on the first of every month, what I do, I order 90 packets of Maggi. And again then when the 90 packets get sold, I again order 90 packets. That was my assumption. So guys, remember whenever I place an order and whenever I receive an order, these 90 packets, they are there for me, or these 90 packets are available to me, let's say in an instant. Just try to understand what I'm saying here. Whenever a shopkeeper places an order and the day when he receives that order in the inventory, a shopkeeper placed an order of 90 packets of Maggi, and when then Tempo came to his shop with 90 packets of Maggi, those 90 packets of Maggi are readily available in an instant. So from 0 to 90, this transition takes place instantaneously in case of a shopkeeper. 0 से 90 तक का सफर एक शॉपकीपर यूं इंस्टेंट में तुरंत तय कर लेता है. So if I will discuss the rate, the speed with which this refill happened, Karthikeyan, don't get confused. I will discuss each and everything. Don't get confused. Just concentrate on what I am saying here. Okay. All I am saying is, if I will discuss about the speed or the rate with which this 0 became 90, then that rate is infinite, instant. Yes, Karthikeyan, you are correct. Karthikeyan is correct. I yesterday discussed about one more term which is lead time. And what was lead time? It is the duration between placing an order and receiving it in the inventory. When I place an order to the wholesaler or the distributor, on that particular day he will punch my order, he will packet it in a box, he will put all kinds of tapes over there, he will produce a bill, and then he will put it in the transport sector, and the transport pro guy will drive his tempo or whatever truck, maybe it can be a train also, or it can be an aeroplane also, and he will drive that particular transport sector and he will come towards my shop, and then I will receive that product. So there was a certain time period, and that time period was lead time. All I am saying is, when somebody says the lead time is 5 days, that means that when you place an order on Flipkart, what it shows, that you will get the delivery on this particular date. That duration, when you place the order and when you are going to receive it, वो जो बीच का समय है, that is basically lead time. And you have to prepare for the lead time, because remember, अगर 0 होने के बाद order करोगे, if you will place the order when the whole inventory is 0 or whole inventory is finished, then what will happen? The time duration, that is the lead time, in that lead time you will not have any product, you will have 0 product, and the customer will come and you won't be able to supply him Maggi. He will go to another shop, buy Maggi from there. That particular shopkeeper will make profit. That particular shopkeeper will Sanjay is saying stuck. संजय क्या स्टक हो गया भाई? लेसन स्टक हो गया क्या? Am I audible? Am I visible? Hello? Hello everyone? Just write it in the comment box. Is the session really buffering or is the session really stuck? Write it in the comment box, friends. Okay, it is perfectly visible, Sanjay. Just check your internet connection, refresh it, close the YouTube app. Okay, let me continue. So what I am saying is, if you will place the order when the inventory has almost finished, then the lead time, in the lead time you will not have any stock. You will have zero stock. Remember, in the lead time you will have zero stock. And what will happen in the zero stock? The customer will come. He will ask for Maggie. You won't be able to provide him Maggie, and he will go to some another shop. That shopkeeper, he will find out that this is a new customer. Earlier he won't used to come. Now he has came to my shop. Okay ना? अतिथि देवो भव. कस्टमर तो देव से भी बड़ा होता है भाई. ठीक है ना? तो कस्टमर आ गया तो शॉपकीपर क्या करता है? 2 रुपए डिस्काउंट दे देगा. 40 की मैगी 38 में दे देगा. He will give you 40 rupees Maggie for 38 rupees. You will feel cherished. You will feel special. That yes, he has given me discount. I am a special customer. The earlier shopkeeper, he didn't used to give me any discount. So it is the shopkeeper's loss. He not only made a mistake by getting stock out, he made a mistake by letting that customer go to that another shop where that another shop owner made that customer happy and might made him a permanent customer of his. Mangesh is asking sir for PI paper how to prepare I and OR. Mangesh, I am giving you gold here, man. I am giving you gold here. Okay, I used to get 2000 rupees per hour for this class in coaching institutes. Okay, for a year I was making 20 lakh rupees. Now all this content is free on YouTube. Unacademy is giving you all this content for free. This is I think the best social service someone has ever done in this country. It is absolutely free, Mangesh. Just enjoy these classes. It is absolutely free. This is how you are going to prepare. Okay. We will guide you through this session. Don't worry. So guys, replenishment rate or refill rate. Remember, it is the rate at which the inventory gets pulled inside an inventory system. In a shop, when the shopkeeper ordered, it had zero inventory and it became 90 instantaneously. The rate at which became 0 to 90 was infinite. So replenishment rate is the rate with which the refill process happens. Remember, man, this what I am talking about is about a shopkeeper who procures and sell, जो खरीद के बेच देता है. But when I will talk about the manufacturer, Nestle company, when I will talk about Nestle company, guys, remember, Nestle company will not have infinite replenishment rate. Nestle company will not get 90 packets of Maggie in an instant. They will not get 0 to 90 instantaneously. If they have zero inventory and let's say they have to have 90 units in the inventory, they will have to start producing Maggie. They must have a factory, they must have a setup which takes time to produce Maggie. Let's say the Nestle company produces Maggie at a rate of 10 packets per minute. Let's say the Nestle company produces 10 packets of Maggie per minute. Then for 90 packets of Maggie, they will have to keep run the infrastructure, the manufacturing setup for the complete what I was saying 9 minutes. 10 पैकेट 1 मिनट में मारा तो 9 मिनट तक फैक्ट्री चालू रखना पड़ेगा. I hope you all are getting my point. All I am saying is All I am saying is, let me just draw the graph and show you what I am trying to tell you here. Guys, what I am saying is, the shopkeeper on the very first day of the month got 90 packets of Maggie, and those 90 packets they got to reduce to zero in a duration of 30 days. But guys, when it will come to a manufacturer, I am going to draw the manufacturer with the green. The manufacturer will not get 90 packets of Maggie on the first day. He will start producing 90 packets of Maggie. Okay, he will start producing 90 packets of Maggie with some rate of production. This is how the equation or the graph will look like for the manufacturer. Mangesh is asking, sir, whether these topics are enough. Otherwise, we need to prepare extra topics. Mangesh, I am covering the entire syllabus of industrial and OR for mechanical as well as PI. You do not have to worry, man. Just follow the lectures, follow the special classes, join the Telegram channel. Everything will be provided for free. Don't worry at all. Don't worry at all. If money is an issue, no worries. Somebody is writing array yaar. Array yaar is my slang in classroom. Okay. I'll make sure someday I'll start saying array yaar on this YouTube class also. But the Unacademy team will might edit that, and they will what do you say? What do you say in English? If I start saying array yaar in class on YouTube class, the Unacademy team will warn me. Okay. So this is the graph for the green graph is for the manufacturer, and the red one is for the seller, the shopkeeper. जो मंगा के बेचता है उसका replenishment rate infinite, और जो बनाकर बेचता है, the one who manufactures and then sells, he has a finite replenishment rate or refill rate. Remember. So guys, all I am trying to say here is that replenishment rate, it can be infinite or finite depending upon the manufacturer or the seller. If it is the case of a seller, the replenishment rate is infinite, instantaneous. If it is a manufacturer, it will be finite. He will produce certain quantities in a certain period of time. Okay, let me proceed, guys. Now we are over with replenishment rate. So let us just proceed. Then what is reorder level? Guys, I am going to ask you one question, and based on that question, I will try to explain what is reorder level. Suppose there is an inventory model in which on the first of every month, okay, in which on the first of every month, the seller orders 90 units, and these 90 units gets consumed in 30 days time, which tells me that in every single day 3 packets of Maggi gets consumed. So guys, if somebody told me that the lead time is 5 days, the lead time is 5 days means that if I will place the order, I will receive the order in the inventory after 5 days time. Okay, I will receive the order in the inventory after 5 days time. So guys, the question is something like this. What will be the number of units available in the inventory? What will be the number of units of Maggi available in the inventory when I will have to place order if the lead time is 5 days? Remember. महीने की पहली तारीख को 90 मंगाता हूं, एक महीने में 90 कंज्यूम हो जाता है। पर डे की डिमांड 3 पैकेट्स ऑफ मैगी है, हर दिन 3 पैकेट बिक रहा है। अगर 5 दिन का लीड टाइम है तो मेरे इन्वेंट्री में कितना पैकेट मैगी बचा होगा? इन माई इन्वेंट्री हाउ मेनी पैकेट्स ऑफ मैगी वुड हैव रिमेन्ड व्हेन आई विल हैव टू प्लेस द ऑर्डर? आंसर करो भाई, आंसर करो, फटाफट फटाफट आंसर करो। राजन सोनी इज सेइंग 12। राजन सोनी इज सेइंग 12। राजन गलत जवाब है भाई। Rajan, your answer is wrong. Very nice, Karthikeyan. The correct answer is 15. When every day I am selling 3 packets of Maggi, then for 5 days time I require 15 packets of Maggi. Then for 5 days time I require 15 packets of Maggi. That means when the inventory count had reached 15 packets, I will have to place the order. I will have to place the order. That 15 quantity is called as reorder level, my friends. It is the inventory level at which the order is placed. Remember, if 5 days is the lead time, 3 days is the consumption rate, then at the stock count of 15, I will have to place the order, and that point is called as the reorder level. I hope I am able to deliver my thoughts, my concepts in the most lucid manner. And now I am moving ahead. So guys, now let me just cover what is buffer stock. Guys, buffer stock is the minimum stock level. Buffer stock is nothing but the minimum stock level. You know what happens if you will go to a nearby general store, if you will go to a store where somebody is selling Maggi, and you will ask him, sir, do you ever get stock out of Maggi? Or is there any chance that Maggi gets completely disappeared from the shop? He will say, no, I cannot do that. It is the one of the biggest risk that I can take, because Maggi is a very hot selling product. Everybody wants Maggi. Everybody wants Maggi. I don't know, whenever I teach this chapter, why I talk about Maggi. Maybe because Maggi is one of my favorite dishes. Okay, you people might be thinking, sir, why Maggi? मेरा engineering निकाला भाई, मेरा जिंदगी बचाया Maggi. सुनो. So all I am trying to say here is that Maggi is a very hot selling product. And if the particular shopkeeper gets stock out, or if Maggi gets completely finished, then there is a chance a customer might come and he might not be able to provide him Maggi. That customer will go away, he will go to some another shop, buy Maggi from there, and he might never ever come to this shop again, because that new shopkeeper might make better friendship with him, might made him feel special, and he would not have ever returned. Karthikeyan, I will be discussing, don't worry, just keep listening. So guys, let's say for a shopkeeper, the monthly consumption of Maggi is 90 units. 90 units. And the lead time is 5 days. So he knows that according to this, the reorder level is 15 units. Because if 90 units is the consumption for entire month, 1 month, then in every day, 3 packets of Maggi get consumed. So for the 5 days duration, I will need 5 into 3, 15 packets of Maggi. He will place the order at 15. But you know what will happen? During the course of these 5 days, while we will be waiting for these 5 days, these 15 packets of Maggi will get consumed completely. On the fifth day, there will be an instant when there will be 0 packets of Maggi in the inventory. I am pretty sure that on that day I am going to receive the new lot, the new inventory, the new 90 packets of Maggi. But there will be an incident, remember, when these 15 packets will become 0 on the very last day. And let's say the transportation sector somehow got affected. COVID-19 happened, some mishappening happened, the train got derailed, the truck got punctured, something happened, some mishappening took place, and the lead time suddenly from 5 days went up to 7 days. you know what will happen? For the next 2 days, your inventory count is going to be zero. You are at a very high risk position. If a shopkeeper wants to avoid this situation, what he will do? He will order not at 15, he will order, let's say, 5 units before 15. He will order at 20 units. When 20 units will be remained in the shop, he will place the order, because 15 units is the cut to cut, the cutthroat. 15 unit is the cutthroat. Cutthroat means on 15 units we have exactly 5 days. If 5 becomes 7, 5 becomes 7, inventory becomes 0, customer will go away. So what he does, he always keep these extra 5 units, he will always keep these extra 5 units as buffer, what he will make sure that never ever the shop, never ever in the shop there will be less than 5 packets of Maggi. 5 packets should be the minimum stock level of Maggi that should be there in the shop. When the next inventory comes, he will not place the order at 15, he will place the order on 20, he will receive the order when there will be 5 units left in the inventory, he will receive the order when there will be 5 units left in the inventory, and what he will do? He will have 95 units then. Again, he will make sure that 90 units get sold, 5 units will always remain in the buffer. That, my friend, is nothing but buffer stock. And now, friends, I have discussed all the general terms in inventory control except this one final term, which is why, because we are studying this particular chapter. And this particular unit, my friends, inventory control is the most important unit of the entire industrial engineering and operations research syllabus. There is a very high probability that question might come from this particular chapter. And this particular chapter is also famous for this one word, EOQ, economic order quantity. And now when we are through with all the general terms, we have got a brief idea what we are studying. We have got a brief idea what is inventory, why we have to control inventory, why we have to manage inventory. Now we will study the most important part of this chapter, and that is economic order quantity. So before I get on to this, I will have to cover this topic. Friends. And the topic here is various costs associated with inventory level. Because if you want to cover economic order quantity, you should know what kinds of costs are there in inventory management, in inventory control. So before I explain you EOQ, let me just explain what are the various costs associated with inventory control. Basically what I am trying to explain here is कि अगर आप इन्वेंट्री मेंटेन करते हैं, whether you are a shopkeeper, whether you are Nestle company, remember guys, Nestle company who is producing Maggi, he also have to have some sort of arrangement to keep the packets of Maggi. It might be a large godown, it might be a large stock house, it can be anything. But whether there is Nestle company which is producing Maggi, whether there is a very small scale vendor or shopkeeper near your house, everyone has to maintain or manage his inventory. Otherwise, the system will crash, the business will crash, the business will suffer. The shopkeeper, either the shopkeeper or Nestle company, they will have to suffer losses. सुनते चलिए भाई, सुनते चलिए. तो the first type of cost that I am going to discuss in this series is the purchase or the production cost. Hello Goswami, welcome to my class. From tomorrow onwards, try to be on time. Oh, I read your message. Do not need to retract the message. Okay, सुनो भाई, सुन तो लो. अरे सुनो ना. सुन रहे हो ना? Are you listening? Are you listening, bhai? Okay. Let me proceed. So, the first cost that I am going to discuss under this series is the purchase or the production cost. Suppose, guys, there is a packet of Maggi which has an MRP of 45 rupees. Which has an MRP of 45 rupees. This price is for you, the maximum retail price for the customer. The maximum retail price. Nobody can sell you Maggi for more than 45 unless and until you want to purchase for more than 45. There can be some instant where Maggi got finished in the market and you want to eat Maggi at any cost. You are a Maggi junkie. नशा है तुमको मैगी का. In that case, you will buy Maggi at more premium cost. He will say, I will give you one packet for 100. You will even buy that. But for the majority of the customers, maximum retail price means that nobody can force you to buy this particular product for more than 45 rupees. So let's say there is a Maggi which has an MRP of 45. The shopkeeper, your favorite shopkeeper, your local shopkeeper, he knows that you are a loyal customer, regular customer. He always give 2 rupees discount. He always give 2 rupees discount to you. He always give 2 rupees discount to you and you buy the Maggi at 43 rupees. Now, you know that the shopkeeper might have gotten this packet of Maggi for a mere 35 rupees only. This is the discount that they get from the wholesaler or the distributor. Remember, whenever you go to Big Bazaar, whenever you go to D-Mart, you will always get more discount from the local shopkeeper as compared to the local shopkeeper. You know why that happens? Because both D-Mart, both Big Bazaar and this big brand multi-outlet grocery suppliers, they buy in bulk, they buy in large quantities, they become distributors and wholesalers on their own and they directly deal with the customer, and in this way they hamper the business of those small shopkeepers. So remember, the wholesaler will sell the packet of Maggi which has an MRP of 45 to the shopkeeper for only 35 rupees for a discount of 10 rupees, and this 10 rupees is nothing but the profit margin for the shopkeeper. The shopkeeper knows that if I will get it for 35, then I can sell it for 42, 43, 44, 45 rupees and I will make profit on that. Similarly, guys, the distributor or the wholesaler might have gotten this 35 rupees packet of Maggi from Nestle company directly at a cost of 25 rupees. And similarly, guys, Nestle company might not have gotten. Nestle company को मिलेगा नहीं, Nestle company को तो produce करना पड़ेगा. So remember, Nestle company would have produced this 25 rupees packet of Maggi for, let's say, 10 rupees. So Nestle company is making 15 rupees on every packet of Maggi by selling it to the distributor or the wholesaler. The distributor or the wholesaler is making 10 rupees in profit by selling it to the shopkeeper. The shopkeeper then again sells it to you for a price tag of 45 rupees by making 10 rupees as his or her profit. Everybody is making money. That's how the system runs. That's how the economy grows. All I am saying is that if Nestle company, my question to you is, if Nestle company produced a packet of Maggi for 10 rupees and sold it to the distributor for 25, did they really made 15 rupees in profit? Question mark. If the distributor sold this 25 rupees Maggi for 35, did he really made 10 rupees profit? Did the shopkeeper, by selling you this 35 rupees packet of Maggi in 45 rupees, did the shopkeeper really manage to make 10 rupees? Did they? Did they make this profit? No, guys, no. No, the answer is no, they cannot. Why? Why I am saying this? क्यों कह रहा हूं मैं ऐसा? Guys, if the shopkeeper purchased that piece of Maggie from the distributor at 35 rupees, then remember guys, 35 rupees is actually the purchase cost of the shopkeeper. 35 rupees is actually the purchase cost of the shopkeeper. 35 rupees is the purchase cost of the shopkeeper. The shopkeeper will then have to have other expenses. He will have to make sure that from the godown or the warehouse of the wholesaler, that Maggie should come to his particular shop or doorstep, and that means he will have to bear the transportation cost. Let's say the shopkeeper ordered 100 packets of Maggie for a price of rupees 35, then 3500 is going to be the total purchase cost. Then if a tempo wala charged him 100 rupees in order to transport these 100 packets of Maggie, then basically he charged 1 rupee per packet to transport, and in that way the 35 rupees Maggie after the transportation cost of tempo will cost him 36 rupees. If the shopkeeper wants to make any sort of profit, then he will have to sell the Maggie at an upward cost of 36 rupees, at 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. Then only he can make profit. But there are some more hidden costs. If he procured the Maggie for 36, let's say after the tempo wala has dropped the Maggie at the doorstep, charged 100 rupees, that 35 rupees packet of Maggie will cost him 36 rupees. Now guys, remember, if this shopkeeper is only selling Maggie, then he has a store to run. He has a shop which might have some sort of rent, which might have some sort of electricity bill. There might be some sort of employee who might be helping him in daily activities. The salary of the employee, the electricity bill, the rent of the shop, all these have to be come out of this business. That particular cost, my friends, which I will have to bear above 36 rupees, is called as the carrying or the holding cost. The holding cost. In order to hold these packets of Maggie, I need a shop, and to own a shop or to have a shop, I will have to pay the rent or the electricity bill or my staff salary. All will this get added up, accumulated up while calculating the cost of one packet of Maggie. And let's say by adding this, the cost of one packet of Maggie become 38 rupees. So guys, remember, 38 is my actual cost. 38 is my actual cost. All I am saying is, buying a Maggie for 35 doesn't mean you can sell it for 36 and make profit. You will have to make sure that you calculate the carrying cost, you calculate the transportation cost, and then on adding all the cost, you will get the actual cost. So the actual cost is 38 rupees. So even if the MRP is 45, I will have to make sure that I sell the Maggie at an upwards of 38 rupees. Then only I can make profit. When I will sell the packets of Maggie for dearer than 38 rupees, then only, my friends, I can make profit. I hope you all are getting my point. I hope I am able to deliver my concepts, my thoughts properly. So दोस्तों, friends, basically what I am trying to explain here is that without properly calculating the various costs in inventory management, You cannot make sure that you have proper profits in the business. These expenses are very important. These expenses are very important, and one must make sure that he calculates these expenses precisely. So guys, the number one cost that I am discussing here, let me just erase all of that. The number one cost that I am discussing here is the purchase cost. Let's say I purchased 100 packets of Maggi for 35 rupees each. Then this 35 rupees, guys, will become the cost, the unit cost, which is represented by CU. CU, the formula for purchase cost, guys, is CU into Q. What is CU? CU is nothing but 35 rupees, the cost of one packet of Maggi. हाँ नवीन गुप्ता, क्वालिटी कंट्रोल भी कराऊंगा, बिल्कुल चिंता मत कर भाई, अभी तो ये पढ़ ले, क्वालिटी कंट्रोल भी कराऊंगा, बिल्कुल कराऊंगा नवीन. So all I am saying is that CU is the cost of one unit. Purchase cost of one unit, and when I multiply it by the total quantity, I will get the total purchase cost, which in this case is going to be 3500. And remember guys, the purchase cost is for the seller, the shopkeeper, one who procures and then sells, खरीद के बेच देता है. But for Nestle company we will have to consider the production cost. For Nestle company, manufacturer, we will have to consider the production cost. Let's say CU is the cost of production for one unit. Nestle company is producing one packet of Maggi for 20 rupees. Then for producing 1000 quantities of Maggi, the total production cost will be equivalent to 20,000. I hope you might be able to understand what I am trying to explain here. Let me just move on to the next type of cost. The other type of cost, my friends, is the ordering cost or the setup cost. Again, the ordering cost is going to be for the seller. The setup cost is going to be for the manufacturer. Okay. What is the ordering cost? It is the cost associated with bringing inventory items within the system. What do you mean by this? I hired a Tempo, I hired a Tata Ace in order to bring the Maggi from the warehouse of the distributor to my shop. The Tata Ace fellow, the man who rode Tata Ace, charged me 100 rupees behind 100 rupees behind 100 packets of Maggi. For 100 packets of Maggi, he charged me 100 rupees. That means basically he charged me 1 rupees behind per packet of Maggi. Or I can say he charged me 100 rupees per order. He charged me 100 rupees per order. What does it mean? He told me, sir, whether you bring 100 packets or you bring 500 packets, which is basically the volume limit of my Tata Ace. Through my Tata Ace, I can only bring 500 packets in maximum to maximum one time from the warehouse to your shop. All I am trying to say here is the Tata Ace has a volume to hold 500 packets of Maggi, and in that Tata Ace, I can also keep 100 packets also, 200 also, 300 also, but not more than 500. And the Tata Ace guy had clearly told me that for every run, every time you ask me to bring Maggi, if the quantity is less than 500, I can load the entire 500 packets in my Tata Ace and I will charge you 100 rupees. What do you get from this? Basically, ordering cost is the cost of procuring the product. प्रोडक्ट को अपने पास तक मंगाने का, हासिल करने का जो खर्चा है, वही ऑर्डरिंग कॉस्ट है. In this case, the ordering cost is like transportation cost. All I am trying to explain you here, that the cost of order 100 rupees for Tata Ace, one run of Tata Ace 100 rupees. I can either procure 100 or procure 500. मैं जितनी ज्यादा क्वांटिटी मंगाऊंगा, द मोर आई विल ऑर्डर इन वन लॉट. If 500 packets become my lot size, if I order 100 packets in one lot, and if I order 5 times of that, 500 packets in the one lot, all I am going to pay the Tata Ace guy is 100 rupees. When my lot size is 100, I am actually paying 1 rupee behind every packet of Maggi. But if my lot size is 500 packets, then basically I am paying him only zero point 0.2 rupees, that is 20 paisa for one packet of Maggi. So guys, what I am trying to explain you here is, that the ordering cost, number one, ordering cost, number one, depends upon the lot size. Ordering cost depends upon the lot size. If the lot size is larger, then the ordering cost will reduce drastically. Because if you order 500 packets in once, you will pay the tempo wala once, and you will keep that 500 packets in your shop. Shri Pragya Jagdale is asking, sir, is this the detailed course or crash course? Shri Pragya, let me tell you one thing. Shri Pragya Jagdala, let me tell you one thing. I don't know what is this crash course or detailed course. I only know how to teach industrial in the best possible way. I am investing my energy, my time, and that too in the best possible way. I don't know what is a crash course, what is a detailed course. All I know is that I have to teach industrial engineering in such a way that when you sit in the examination hall, you are able to solve each and every question from this particular subject on your own. Then only you will remember that yes, Manish sir taught me, he taught me well. Okay, so this is my job and I'm trying to do my job in the best possible way. Okay, so I hope now I have answered your question. Okay, let me proceed now. So guys, all I am trying to tell you here is that the lot size will have an impact on the total ordering cost. अगर एक बार मैं ज्यादा मंगा लूंगा, टेम्पो का भाड़ा बच जाएगा. हर महीने 90 पैकेट मैगी मंगाऊंगा तो हर महीने टेम्पो का भाड़ा लगेगा. हर महीने 90 पैकेट मंगाऊंगा तो हर महीने टेम्पो का 100 रुपए भाड़ा लगेगा. चाहूं तो 3 महीने का पैकेट ऑफ मैगी एक बार में मंगा सकता हूं. मेरे को तो पता है ना मैगी बिकने वाला है. ओके. So let me proceed. Now I have told you one point, that the ordering cost depends upon lot size. What is the ordering cost basically? Look, here is the formula. I will discuss this setup cost in some moment of time. Now let us just look at the formula. Ordering cost का formula है दोस्तों n into C naught. What is this C naught? C naught is cost of one order. Whenever I will place order, tempo wala will charge me 100 rupees. So C naught is basically 100 rupees. What is this N? It is the number of orders. If I use the service of tempo wala, Tata Ace man, for 5 times, I will pay him 5 into 100, that is a sum of 500 rupees. That becomes my total ordering cost. I hope you are able to understand. If I use the tempo wala 10 times, I will have to bear 1000 rupees as ordering cost. If I use the tempo wala service once only, then I will have to pay him 100 rupees only. So now you might have understood, N means the number of orders and C naught means the cost of one order, that is 100 rupees. The tempo wala's charge for one run of Tata Ace or tempo. Guys, what is setup cost? I already told you the ordering cost is for the seller. For the manufacturer, it is going to be the setup cost. What is the setup cost? Let us just understand this. Guys, you see, unlike the seller के केस में तो मंगा के बेचना पड़ता था. मंगाना पड़ेगा, ऑर्डर करना पड़ेगा. You will have to make sure you order. You have to make sure that you bear the cost of transportation. But when it comes to the Nestle company, they just simply have to produce. They just simply have to manufacture. We know that the raw materials come from outside, but they procure the raw material very early. They have to process the raw material then, and then they have to manufacture the packets of Maggie. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me, bhai. Listen to me. Yaar, listen to me. You must have seen that there is one FSSAI mark behind the packets of Maggie or behind the packets of food item. It is basically the indication that this manufacturer who is producing a edible product has a proper license from a proper agency set up by the government of India, and he can produce these products and sell it in the market. The gupchup wala, the egg roll wala, and the chaat wala, they cannot put this FSSAI license. So, whenever Maggie company has to produce Maggie, they will have to inform the FSSAI, Food Security Authority of India, something like this, that yes, we are going to produce this amount of Maggie under this batch number. It is going to have this type of ingredients in this particular composition. Yes, Ashwin, very correct. So basically, whenever the Nestle company does all these things, they do all these kinds of things before they start manufacturing, before they start producing. Not only this, they will have to make sure that the entire manufacturing setup is in excellent condition. All the machines are working properly. They have been maintained properly. All the safety standards, all the safety parameters have been taken care of so that nobody gets hurt when the manufacturing setup is ongoing. They make sure that they pay all kinds of electricity bills. All I am saying is, just like in the case of a seller, the seller has to pay 100 rupees to the tempo wala in order to procure a lot of 90 packets of Maggie. In the same way, the manufacturer, whenever he will try to produce Maggie, whenever the manufacturer will try to produce Maggie, I am trying to explain you here is, when the shopkeeper on the first of every month will receive 90 packets of Maggie, every time he orders, he will have to pay 100 rupees to the tempo wala. In the same way, my friends, for bulk production, I use for bulk production. I told for bulk production. I told specifically for I am producing this number of Maggie for this batch size. Okay. So all I am saying is, whenever the manufacturing company produces Maggie, whenever they will produce Maggie, every time before manufacturing, they will have to bear some cost. Just like for the case of seller, the manufacturer will always have to bear some cost before manufacturing, and that cost basically is called as the setup cost. So remember, the setup cost is just like whenever they will manufacturer, they will bear the setup cost. Let's say the setup cost is 1000 rupees for every setup. Let's say they place 5 setups. 5 times they start manufacturing, then 5 into 1000, that is 5000 rupees will become the total setup cost. So it is same, ordering cost and setup cost are same. The basic difference is ordering cost is for the seller and the setup cost is for the manufacturer. Both have the similar formula. I hope this concept is clear to you. Now I am going to proceed. यार वो श्री प्रज्ञा जब दिले तो शायद बुरा मान के चली गई क्या? She has retracted her message. I was just explaining myself. Shri Pragya, I am really sorry. Okay, I was just explaining that there is no such thing as detailed course or crash course. I hope you are with us in this session. Sachin Sharma is asking for every pack, but I have in a single packets. Oh, Sachin, the print is there, the mark is there, but it does not mean that they have to give the photo of that particular hologram or mark to FSSAI every time. They just inform them that we are producing this batch size, we are going to produce this type of packets in this batch size, and they take the license for the entire batch. Okay, I hope the concept is crystal clear. Let me proceed guys. Let me proceed. The next cost here is holding cost or carrying cost. The next cost here is holding cost or carrying cost. Guys, let me clarify one thing. Let me clarify one thing. Although this class is live, although this class is live, but I don't know, YouTube might have some kind of bug. Although this class is live, but YouTube have some kind of bug. What is that bug? Let me tell you. Whatever I am saying right now, it reaches you after 30-40 seconds. So when that point reaches to you after 30-40 seconds and you comment something on that, and I gave a reply to that particular comment, basically again I am 40 seconds ahead, and you might feel that sir is ignoring my comments, but actually I am not. Actually I am not. विशाल कुमार पूछ रहा है प्रोडक्शन चल रहा है ब्रो. नो विशाल, प्रोडक्शन नहीं, इंडस्ट्रियल चल रहा है. प्रोडक्शन चलाऊंगा, मौका देंगे तो वो भी चलेगा, ठीक है ना. सुनो मेरे भाई, सुनो मेरे भाई, लेट्स नॉट वेस्ट अवर टाइम. टाइम इज वेरी प्रीशियस. टाइम इज वेरी प्रीशियस. वैसे ही यूट्यूब में काट काट के समय मिलता है. बोल तो रहा हूं तुम लोगों को कि अनअकैडमी प्लस का सब्सक्रिप्शन ले लो. चिल्ला चिल्ला के तो बोलता हूं, सुनते कहां हो. ये भी बताता हूं कि MM10 कोड लगा लो, 10% डिस्काउंट मिल जाएगा. सुनते हो क्या तुम लोग? नहीं सुनते हो भाई, नहीं सुनते हो यार. चलो कोई बात नहीं, मत सुनो, पढ़ो पढ़ो, यूट्यूब से पढ़ो. So guys, listen to me. The next thing that I am going to discuss here is the holding cost or the carrying cost. The cost of holding, whether there is Nestle company or there is a shopkeeper, whether there is Nestle company or there is a shopkeeper, listen guys, listen guys, तुम लोग सुना करो ना यार, मैं पढ़ा रहा हूं ना, सुन तो लो मेरी बात. Whether there is Nestle company or there is a shopkeeper, Nestle company will have to have some warehouse. Shopkeeper has to have a shop. Warehouse means to run the warehouse there will be team of men or teams of men. Similarly, to run a shop there will be few men. Warehouse means electricity bill, shop means electricity bill. Warehouse means storage facility has to be neat and clean, which means more expense. Storage facility, warehouse should be free of rodents, animals, insects. Otherwise the inventory will get destroyed, ruined. So all these things cost money. Shopkeeper will have to make sure that he have a proper facility to keep the packets of Maggi. Otherwise the packets will get ruined. So all these costs, it comes under holding cost. What I have written, it is the cost associated with storing and keeping inventory items within the system. This cost depends upon the quantity and the period. Guys, this line is very important. Let me double underline this point. Very important point. The cost depends upon quantity and the period for which the inventory is stored. It includes the storage cost, handling cost, locked up cost, capital interest, etc. सुन रहे हो ना? Are you listening to me? आर यू लिसनिंग टू मी? आई होप यस। देखो मेरे भाइयों, देखो मेरे भाइयों, थक गया यार, पढ़ा पढ़ा के थक गया। Tired, I am feeling tired. Although I have some time left, but I am feeling tired. Okay, now listen, now listen. Up until now, we have discussed purchase cost. It depends upon quantity. Remember, the more the quantity, the higher the purchase cost will be. CU is the cost, the purchase cost of one unit. It remains unchanged, unaffected. But quantity, if I will increase, the total purchase cost 3500 rupees will increase. Similarly, ordering cost N into C naught. I specifically mentioned that it depends upon lot size. How it depends upon lot size? I told you specifically that if I will use the Tempos service 5 times, I will have to pay 500 rupees. Now, if I use the Tempos service 3 times, I will have to pay only 300 rupees. How the Tempo service got reduced from 5 to 3? How the Tempo service got reduced from 5 to 3? कितने बजे तक होगा सर ये लेक्चर? 15 minutes more. How the tempo service got reduced from 5 to 3? Basically, I might have ordered 2 months inventory in once. I told you 90 packets of Maggi is the requirement for 1 month. If I will order 2 months Maggi in one lot, 180 packets once, I will have to use the Tempo's service one less time in 2 months. So that will reduce the ordering cost. What I am trying to explain you here is the quantity, the lot size affects the ordering cost. So up until now we have studied two costs. Purchase cost, this also depends on quantity. Ordering cost, this also depends on quantity. Now the third cost, my friends, is the holding and the carrying cost. दोस्तों होल्डिंग और कैरिंग कॉस्ट क्वांटिटी पे तो डिपेंड करता ही करता है, साथ में पीरियड ड्यूरेशन पे भी डिपेंड करता है. दिस इज द हाईलाइट ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर चैप्टर, हाईलाइट ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर कॉस्ट, that it depends both on quantity and time period. I am going to give you one example and I hope you will be able to understand my example and will be able to understand the analogy and will be able to correlate it within this current situation. Suppose guys, suppose there is a hotel. There is a hotel and one person came in to stay in the hotel. One person came in to stay in the hotel. He said, I am going to stay for 1 day. The hotel will charge him as per one person for 1 day. He will give, the hotel fellows will give him a small room that can occupy one person, one occupant, and one occupant for 1 day will generate, let's say, 100 rupees in terms of bill, the hotel bill. Let's say 5 people came in the hotel and they all stayed for 1 day. The bill will become 5 into 100, that is 500 rupees. Let's say 5 of them told that we all will stay for 5 days. The bill will affect in such a way, that it will get multiplied by 5 days and the total bill will become 2500 rupees. अरे हाँ कार्तिकेन, setup cost and ordering cost are both the same thing. They will both depend on quantity. Karthikeyan might need example. Karthikeyan, if the Nestle company produces 1 lakh packets of Maggi, in one manufacturing setup, and let's say they produces 1000 packets of Maggi in one another setup, then remember the entire cost they must have bear. They must have expenditure the entire cost in order to have a maintenance checkup, a safety checkup, in order to have a license from the FSSAI. That is not going to differ. Whether I produce 1000 quantity or 1 lakh quantity, the maintenance cost will remain the same. But guys, remember, I have just given you an example. Of hotel chain, of hotel business. If 5 people say that we are going to stay for 5 days, then the total bill will got increased to 2500 rupees. All I am trying to explain here, guys, that the bill of the hotel or the total charge that the hotel will make sure that you pay will depend both on quantity, number of people, and also the duration for which they are staying in the hotel. Similarly, friends, let me just erase this. Let me just erase this. If a shopkeeper, Ashwin, I will also eat Maggie, my friend. I will also eat Maggie. I am going to add lots of vegetables in Maggie. यश मीना इज आस्किंग सर लीन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग थोड़ा डिस्कस कर दो. अरे यश, सब पढ़ाऊंगा भाई. लीन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग भी पढ़ेंगे, मजे से पढ़ेंगे, समय आने पे पढ़ेंगे. मॉड्यूल को उसके हिसाब से चलने दो. रास्ते में अगर तुम इस तरीके के गड्ढे लाओगे ना, तो मेरे को छलांग मारनी पड़ेगी भाई. सुनो, इधर ध्यान दो. ऑल आई एम सेइंग इज दैट इफ द शॉपकीपर ordered 90 packets of Maggie on the very first day and he sold the entire 90 packets in a duration of 30 days by selling 3 packets per day. 3 packets per day. Remember, on the very first day there were 90 packets, but after one day there will be only 87 packets left. After one more day there will be only 84 packets left. After every single day, 3 packets are going to get sold. And what I am trying to tell you here is, there was one packet of Maggie which got sold on the very first day. And there was one packet of Maggie there was one packet of Maggie which stayed in the shop for 30 days. I received all the inventory on the very first day, but out of those 90 units, one packet went away, got sold out on the very first day. That packet of Maggie only spent one day in my shop. And there was one packet of Maggie which got sold on the 30th day. This packet of Maggie spent 30 days in my shop. If I want to calculate the holding cost, the carrying cost, the hold cost, the cost that I am going to bear because I hold that particular packet of Maggie, will the cost behind this packet of Maggie which stayed for one day and the cost behind this packet which stayed for 30 days, will that cost be same? Just answer me with a yes or no. Will that cost be same? क्या वो cost same होगा? जो पैकेट ऑफ मैगी पहले दिन बिक गया, जो 30वें दिन बिका, क्या दोनों से बराबर चार्ज लोगे क्या? अरे बोलो ना यार, बोलो ना यार, बोलो ना यार. दोनों से बराबर चार्ज लोगे क्या? अरे नहीं ले सकते भाई, नहीं ले सकते. दोनों से अलग अलग चार्ज आपको लेना पड़ेगा. दोनों से अलग अलग चार्ज आपको लेना पड़ेगा. अरे यशमीना इज सेइंग यस भाई. अरे यशमीना, वी कैन नॉट चार्ज देम सेम. One customer stayed in the hotel. One customer stayed in the hotel for one day. One customer stayed in the hotel for 30 days. Cannot charge. We cannot charge both the customer the same amount. The customer that stayed for 30 days will definitely have to pay more, 30 times more, with respect to that customer that stayed in the shop for one day only. I hope you all are getting my point. I hope you all are getting my point. सचिन शर्मा, अरे मेरे भाई सचिन शर्मा, तुमने यस बोल दिया यार. समझ में आ गया तुमको? एक बार फिर से यस बोल दो ताकि मैं समझ जाऊं कि तुमको समझ में आ गया. आगे बढ़ता हूं. So guys, if I want to calculate the holding cost, I have explained you very specifically that the holding cost depends number one on quantity and number two on duration. It will depend how much packets of Maggi you have hold, and it will also depend for how long you hold that packet of Maggi, either for 1 day, for 30 days, for 15 days, for 10 days, for 11 days. So you know what will happen? You know what will happen when I will try to calculate the holding cost behind all these 90 packets of Maggi. I will have to make sure that I calculate the cost behind each packet of Maggi separately. There are 3 packets of Maggi that stayed for 1 day. Then there are 3 packets of Maggi that stayed for 2 days. Then there are 3 packets that stayed for 3 days. Similarly, there are 3 packets that stayed for 30 days. I'll have to make sure I add up the cost in this particular way in order to find the exact holding cost behind all these 90 packets of Maggi. Because holding cost depends both on quantity as well as on duration. What is the time? Let me just check the time. We have some time. We have some time. Don't worry. Let me just speed up. Let me just speed up. So, guys, this procedure will become extremely difficult and exhaustive. We are not going to perform the holding cost calculation in this way. So what we do? We derived this formula. This formula says the holding cost is basically CH multiplied by I average. I average. What is this I average? First, let us understand this. I average. Okay, I average means average inventory. I had 90 packets on the very first day and I had 0 packets on the last day. So on an average, I had 45 packets. On an average, I had 45 packets. Okay, so basically 45 packets is the average inventory. But why I am calculating holding cost with respect to the average inventory? Remember, before I can explain that, let me just explain CH. Guys, the unit of CH, the unit of CH, the unit of CH is rupees per unit per time. Let me just give it like an example. Let's say I will charge you 1 rupees for 1 unit for 1 month. You know what this means? It means if I keep a single packet of Maggi for a duration of 1 month, I will have to bear 1 rupees in terms of carrying cost. The unit of CH indicates that holding cost depends both on quantity and time. It is given in such a way that it is written as rupees 1 per unit per month. This means if I carry 1 packet of Maggi for an entire month, I will have to pay 1 rupees. If I say I carry 5 packets of Maggi for an entire month, then 5 multiplied by CH which is 1 will give me 5 rupees. So 5 rupees will be the total holding cost behind 5 packets of Maggi when I keep each and every packet for a total duration of 1 month. When I keep each and every packet of Maggi for a total duration of 1 month, then I will pay 5 rupees. But guys, remember, although you have 90 packets of Maggi, on the very first of that month, you are not keeping these entire 90 units for the whole month. You are not keeping these entire 90 units for the whole month. So the value of CH is constant. The value of CH is constant. Remember, it is like 1 rupees per unit per month. But I am not keeping the entire 90 units for the whole month. I am keeping only 3 units for the whole month. Then for every 3 units getting reduced, one day is getting reduced. But guys, that will make the calculation part very complex. So what we did, we made CH constant. We made sure that CH remains 1 rupees per unit per month. We will tamper with quantity. Rather than multiplying this by 90, I made sure I made an average of 90. 90 plus 0 by 2, 45. So what I am consuming, what I am assuming, I am assuming that these 45 packets is going to remain with me for the entire month. So I am paying 45 rupees in terms of holding cost. All I am assuming is on the very first day I had 90 packets, on the very last day I had 0 packets. But if I have an average, I can say that 45 packets of Maggi remained in my shop for an entire month. All I am saying is that if I add up this cost 3 into 1, 3 into 2, 3 into 3, 3 into 30, multiply this by CH, then this will give me the same value if I will assume that there are only 45 packets, not 90, non-zero. I am assuming there are 45 packets that are going to be there in the shop for an entire month. Basically what I am doing is I am replacing this rectangle, so replacing this triangle with a rectangle. I am replacing this triangle with a rectangle. I am replacing this triangle with a rectangle which having 45 units for 30 days. Let me just draw it properly in the next page. Let me just draw it properly in the next page. What happened? What happened? What happened? Where is my open board? कहाँ गया यार? अरे, my open board crashed. Okay. So all I am saying is that on the very first day I had 90 packets. On the last day I had 0 packets. This will generate a sort of holding cost. I am saying, let's just say I had only 45 units. This is the average. And I made sure that these 45 units stayed in the inventory for the whole duration of 30 days. And if I will calculate the cost behind the 45 units for 30 days, it is going to be the same as 90 unit on the first day and 0 unit on the last day of this entire 30 day span. I hope guys this is clear to all of you. I am very sorry, my document got closed. There might be a glitch in the software. Okay. So guys, give me a yes or no whether this point is clear or not. Just give me a yes or no. Have you understood what I am trying to explain here? Clear hai. Very nice दोस्तों, very nice. Time is also over. There is one more cost remained, shortage cost. We will discuss it in tomorrow's class. We will discuss this part in tomorrow's class. Remember guys, कल की क्लास और इंटरेस्टिंग है. कल की क्लास तो भैया धूम मचाऊंगा. कल की क्लास में तो बहुत मजा आने वाला है. You are going to thoroughly enjoy tomorrow's class. Tomorrow we are going to discuss the first economic order quantity model and we are going to solve some very beautiful questions. सुनो भाई, सुनो. Before you guys leave, just let me tell you all something about the plus subscription. Guys, I always emphasize you to opt for the plus subscription. Okay? I always emphasize. Why I do that? Guys, YouTube is just a medium to titillate you. आपको उकसाने के लिए है YouTube. ठीक है? आपको उकसाने के लिए है YouTube. On YouTube, there is lots of limitations. We cannot interact properly. We cannot have proper sessions. Time is a foundation there. The YouTube channel is just to make you realize that we are teaching with whole heart, with great concepts. And on the Unacademy app, via the plus subscription, you can learn from teachers like me, from teachers like other teachers that are there on the Unacademy platform. You can benefit from their lectures also. And guys, the most important thing, You can have multiple batches. You can join multiple batches on the Plus app. You can have weekly tests. Tests are very important. Tests are very important. No, Kapil, I cannot extend the class. On YouTube, we have limitations. The Unacademy team manages this. But on the Unacademy app, I can run my own lectures. I can schedule them on my own. You can have my lectures. You can study my lectures as long as you want to. I also have doubt solving sessions on the Unacademy app. I also conduct special classes on the Unacademy app. All those special classes are absolutely free. Remember that this class is going to be in synchronization with the special class. Whatever I teach in this class, I make sure that in the special class, I provide you with special questions of that topic with proper solutions and discussions. Guys, the plus subscription, when you will use my code triple M10, if you will use my code triple M10, the plus subscription will only cost you 27,225 rupees. This is the discounted price. Actually, the plus subscription will cost you more, but if you will use my coupon code triple M10, you will instantly get 10% off. Remember, guys, if money is not an issue, invest your money where your future is going to take place. This money is going into your future. Okay? So, guys, this is it for today's session. This is it for today's session. This is my URL on the Unacademy website. Just type it in the URL box. You will straight away get to see my profile page, my entire lectures, my entire schedule. Guys, this is the Telegram channel. Remember to join this Telegram channel. Okay. In this Telegram channel, I provide with the notes of this class. I also provide proper question banks and practice sheets. You can benefit from those also if you will join this Telegram channel. Okay, bye bye, friends. Good night. Good night, all of you. Up until then, remember, guys, remember to like, share, subscribe, and thank you very much. I will see you all tomorrow at 9:15 p.m. on YouTube again with the continuation of this class. Tata, bye bye, good night, see you all, love you all.